Heroes, villains, a tale as old as time, and the never-ending battle to protect truth and justice from those who thrive on chaos and bloodshed. Come with us as we peel back the mask on your beloved Crusaders of Light and dive deep into the dark and twisted abyss of the most feared and hated harbingers of doom. Follow your host, Power Maximus, and everyone's favorite demigod, Lord Triage, as they take a trip down the rabbit hole that is everything super. So, are you a hero or a villain? Either way, find that super suit and suit up for the Super Breakdown.
What is up? What is up? We are back for another amazing week, another fun week. It's a little different for y'all. Y'all actually get to see us. Let us know if you can hear us. This is a new setup, fun setup. Please drop a comment. Let us know where you at right now. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Kick. We're streaming to everywhere right now. But yeah, we got an interesting show for you guys. So what was it, about 2 weeks ago we did Riddick versus Dredd?
Yes.
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago we did a Riddick versus Dredd. People loved it. We had a good time with it too. We broke down literally each character individually, their backgrounds, their weapons, their abilities, and then we went into like a full breakdown of what we think and how we think a battle between them two would play out. Neutral grounds, of course. But yeah, based off each one, we did a whole battle, like broke it down movement for movement. So it's going to be pretty fun. This week's going to be kind of the same, but we are going, so Turtles, TMNT, including Jenica, right? And then the Robins of the Bat family, essentially. So like Nightwing, Red Hood, Red Robin, Robin, of course, and then Stephanie Brown, Robin. Yeah. Isn't she? So Stephanie Brown's the Robin. She has like the square green glasses, and she was a part of the Batman storyline where pretty much she was like older Bruce.
That's not Stephanie Brown.
That's not Stephanie?
That's not Stephanie Brown. Stephanie Brown's the one that becomes a spoiler. She's the Cluemaster's daughter.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. There we go. But yeah, so we're gonna be pairing them up against each other. 1v1. Oh yeah. Oh, now I'm thinking about it. 1v1s, and then as a group, like 5v5 towards each other. All right, so we got about 5 battles, 1v1, and then last battle we're gonna run through, what would happen in a scenario with the full 5-on-5. So let's go. Let's start off with the leaders. We got Leo, we got Nightwing. Which way you think this is going?
Oh, I think Leonardo's whooping his ass first and foremost.
I have to agree. I personally think so. For me, the difference between Leo and Nightwing is the fact that Leo, he's confident, not cocky, and he is patient above all else.
Mm-hmm.
Nightwing, on the other hand, he is confident to a fault sometimes. I think he lets the ego of the fact that, I was the first and trained by Batman, to the point where I was strong enough. I'm out here on my own doing my own shit in my own area. I am the Batman of Bloodhaven, pretty much.
In essence, that's what he is. Yes.
Yeah. So I kind of feel like his ego would definitely get in the way a little bit. And while Leo is patient, but even then, Leo can be patient to a fault sometimes too.
Well, I think that that's one of the things that goes back to him carrying the Ninjatos, because he had to learn he needs to protect life, but he also needs, if necessary, and he also need to be able to take it. Leo's actually one of the more indifferent of the turtles because of that. So I think it's one of those things where at the end of the day, it's going to come down to who, with those two, it's going to come down to who's more skilled than the other.
Really, for me, I feel like it's going to come down to who's able to buy their time, who can be more strategic in that moment. Because the problem with Nightwing is he is known to have a temper. Like, he's good for a certain amount of time, but once he feels like the fight's dragging out too long, he's like, all right, fuck it. I'm ending this shit. While Leo, on the other hand, he will let that fight drag as long as he needs to be able to get in. He'll be able to get the dub that way.
Yeah, those billy clubs are going to get cut in two real quick.
Yeah. Yep. So we're doing a little bit different. We're not necessarily going off of like each specific ability, because with this, it just seems like there's too many. No. With this, I feel like there's not a lot of variables with it. I feel like this is a kind of,
once again, this all depends on the points that are going to get argued, because the one shout out to my cousin Big Bear. He was saying how at the end of the day, as far as he's concerned, he feels it's going to just come down to a fist fight between who's got better with their hands and their feet. Now, once again, I have a very hard time betting against anyone who's been trained by Batman, but the turtles are physically enhanced to be stronger, faster.
Mm-hmm.
They have the years of ninjutsu training from and there's another thing, because I get it that, like, for example, you got Dick Grayson, who's a natural acrobat, who is fluent in his craft and one of the most graceful of the Robins, but Leonardo has been Splinter's #1 student since he could walk. So it's like he's taking his craft a lot more serious, to the point where I think, like, once it gets to like submission or who's going to stop who.
No, absolutely. I think Leo is definitely taking that battle between the two. What do y'all think? Y'all think Nightwing or Leo? So think about it. Think about it. Nice, long, hard. I don't know. I still want to say. So here's the thing. So Batman, like you said, the turtles are they're enhanced. All right, so it means they're stronger, they're faster, but they fight that shit on a regular, though. The Robins fight that shit on a regular. You see things are going up. We got villains like Bane running around here. You got, fucking villains like, Firefly, who are like faster than them, blasters and shit like that. So they're a fucking Killer Croc. They're not new to to fighting mutants. They're not new to fighting people that are physically stronger, physically faster. Hell, they're not even new to fighting people that are, smarter than them. So I feel like on that aspect, it wouldn't be that wouldn't turn the tables, because they're used to that shit. They're like, oh, okay. But now here's the other question. Are we talking, what continuity of the Turtles are we talking? We talking comic book continuity? We talking 90s live action continuity? We talking cartoon continuity?
Well,
I know we're not talking Michael Bay continuity. That's out of here. We're not talking about that bullshit.
Jesus Christ. Only thing Michael Bay did was make them niggas, but as far as I'm concerned, the only thing Michael Bay did correctly was make them niggas bulletproof. Anywho, my thing with that is that, well, first and foremost, when we can't do live action continuity because there's nothing to really compare it to outside of like what the Titans show.
I mean, we could,
and even then, there's only 3 out of the 5 we're talking about as far as Robins go. Excuse me, because do we acknowledge the Gotham Knight show or no?
Hell no.
All right, so then that's out. So
what?
I was trying to make a point with something. I guess that's completely
hell no.
All right, so we do see Stephanie Brown in the Batwoman show, but she's not as fully formed as a character.
Do we count that?
I mean, I didn't hate the Batwoman show.
I didn't hate it until Ruby Rose left.
Once again,
I just feel like after Ruby Rose left, they were just trying to, and nothing to get. I'm not putting that. Normally, I put shit on the writers. Normally, I shit on the writers for shit like that. I blame Ruby Rose. Like, what do you expect? I was like making an extra a fucking main character. Like, Ruby Rose has never been the main character in shit she's played in. Don't get me wrong. I love Ruby Rose. I do. I like her a lot. Let me not say love, but I like her a lot. But when you go from playing nothing but side characters to now you're the number one, you're the everything is riding on you. You can't take the stress of the shooting schedule for a fucking show? A show? Nah. So I blame Ruby Rose, but I don't know. Yes, we'll count Batwoman. We'll count the Batwoman show.
Okay. But even then, we don't really get to see her square off or cut loose, at least that version of Stephanie Brown. If we're counting the live action continuity of the Titans, that's only
Dick, Jason, and Tim.
Yeah, so okay. So even then, you're telling me that those 3 are beating the fucking Jim Henson's Ninja Turtles from the 90s?
Oh, yeah, no. No, because even the even just because, like, as much as I like Titans, like, I just felt like the Robins were bumbling idiots in a way.
As far as
I just felt like I couldn't take them seriously. Like, for me, it was like, all right, Dick, he's older now. He's a fucking detective. And here's the shit that, sorry to get sidetracked, but here's the shit that gets me about Titans. So we pick up with Dick Grayson, right? He's a detective. He's not a cop. He's not a beat cop. He's a detective that people know about. So he has a reputation. So my thing is like, all right, so how long has he been a detective for? How long has he not been Robin? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, because you don't just be like, you know what? I'm going to stop fighting crime and I'm going to become an actual detective. No, you can't. You don't just pop in to be being a detective. No, you got to put time in on the force as a beat cop before you're even able to apply for the detective's exam.
Maybe things were different in Bloodhaven.
Maybe, and that would explain why fucking their police can't get shit done. That would explain why. But I literally have a family member who's been on the police force for 15 years. 15 years. And was just able to become a detective last year. So it was like, so for him to go from Robin to Nightwing, that to me it fucks. If it doesn't, I don't like that continuity because the whole point, him leaving when he left Batman, yeah, he went out and freelance as Robin for a minute, but it got to a point where it's just like he ended up just making his own persona because he got tired of living in the Bat shadow. So this one in Titans, I just felt like it was just like he just gave up fighting crime and just like kind of bitched out. And it was like, yeah, I can't do it anymore. Oh my god, I'm just gonna be a regular old fucking cop detective now. And then you got Jason, which I kind of like the portrayal of Jason in that. I liked it. I liked it. I liked it. The portrayal of Jason that was actually I thought was pretty good. He's hot headed. He's let's go, let's get him, let's go. I wish they would have gave him a little more darkness while he was Robin before he got the shit beat out of him and turned into Red Hood and shit. But I thought that was pretty good. But still, and they didn't give him too much to really work with, except for like the Scarecrow season, which I thought was pretty fun. That was pretty fun. And then Tim. They just went left with. I feel like they went left with him. Or would it be right? What side? Is the left side or right side? Which one's liberal? Which one's conservative?
Conservative is right. Liberal is left.
So yeah, they went left. They went way left. They went super left. They went super left with that. And
I think it was one of those things where they tried to blend the modern version of him with the original version. I just think the mesh wasn't terrible. It was just one of those things like where the character could have been handled a little bit better, in my opinion. But once again, like I said, if we're putting those three against the '90s Leonardo, Raphael, and Donatello, they're killing them. There is no way that Tim Drake is beating that Donatello.
No.
Corey Feldman's Donatello was fucking him up. You hear me?
Damn.
That's just
I forgot about Corey Feldman. Forgot that it was yeah. No, I absolutely agree. There's no way. No way. And then of course, if we wanted to be cheeky and be like, oh, put them up against Michael Bay's, they're still fucking killing them.
We don't talk about Bruno.
I know we don't talk about Bruno, but still, I'm just saying, if we wanted to be cheeky and talk about Bruno,
listen, I can't fuck with Michael Bay's in the Turtles.
I know I can't.
Mike made them niggas, man. He made them mad, belligerent, and boisterous, and outspoken. It was just unnecessary. All right, I don't care. Michael Bay, stop fucking with shit from the '90s. All right, stick to making Bad Boys movies.
Should we even do? Oh wait, Michael Bay. He didn't make 3, did he?
I don't think he made 3 or 4, but I know he made the first 2.
Yeah. Michael Bay, go back to making Bad Boys movies. Because the fuck was up with 3? You let these 2 young brothers, because otherwise they were like twin brothers and some shit like that. And they was like, oh yeah, I work with them all the time. They're good at blowing shit up. No. You had the master of blowing shit up. In the first 2, you had the master of blowing shit up. And then you gave us Bad Boys 3. 4 wasn't bad. 4 wasn't bad.
I haven't seen it yet.
Bro, it wasn't bad. 4 wasn't bad. 4 was actually fun to watch.
Okay, so
I don't know. Yeah, so
all right, if we're talking animated continuity, let's see. If I had to pick an animated continuity of the Turtles that I think was the best, I have to go with the 2003 series. That's just me.
The TMNT?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no.
I'm talking about the series with Shredders and Ultron.
Yeah. That was like, that was on, fuck, what was it called? Fucking, why can I not? 4 Kids.
Yeah.
4 Kids. That's what it was. 4 Kids TV. Yes, I fucked with that one. Yes, I agree. Yep.
So
Yep.
okay, so once again,
Without
even
the
if we're comparing those four, because Jenica isn't in the series yet,
Mhm.
because she's not main continuity. So we're comparing those four against, let's say,
The main four: Dick, Jason, Tim, and what the fuck?
but see, but the issue is there's no animated continuity where you see all four of them.
True.
Like if you go with the DC AU, the animated universe that has like Justice League War and Throne for Atlantis and all that, you see Nightwing and you see Damian, but you don't see Tim and you don't see the Red Hood.
No, you do see Red Hood. Red Hood is a part of that storyline. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. In the DC animated universe, I'm talking about the one that ends with Justice League Dark. Excuse me, Justice League Apocalypse, where Flash has to go back and fix everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I am positive he doesn't appear in that.
So I'm thinking of the Batman movies. That Batman Under the Red Hood wasn't a part of that, or was that a movie? Yeah, that was a movie. Under the Red Hood wasn't it? I'm pretty sure Under the Red Hood was a part of that.
I don't believe so.
Let me fact check. Let me fact check real quick, because Under the Red Hood came out right. Yeah, it came out before the animated Batman and Robin, and that's the one that had Damian. Let's just find out right now. Under the Red Hood. It's 2010.
Now check Justice League War. Because Justice League War was definitely after that.
You know, sometimes we don't claim to be, you know, yeah, it's 2014.
Yeah,
2014.
So,
but this is the part of this is New 52.
Yeah, but that's
the Wars to start the New 52.
Yes, so that's a completely different continuity.
Yeah, fucking Shamar Moore, Cyborg. Yeah,
I didn't even know that. That's interesting.
Oh, really?
Didn't know he was Cyborg. Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah.
But even then, so that's still once again. That Leonardo versus that Nightwing.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Damn. I mean, are we gonna count Crisis that just dropped? Crisis 3? Bro, come on. We gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. We do. We got to talk about it because we actually get to see all of them, including Huntress, on the screen at the same time. And we also see them all give Batman the hands. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Fuck prep time.
You know me. I get carried away sometimes. I get carried away.
I am not gonna acknowledge those Crisis movies. I'm not. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I am phenomenally pissed off. I'm annoyed. I just don't want to look at it anymore. I wish they would have just got to the fucking point and we could have moved past it.
I'll be honest. It definitely felt like they were definitely throwaway for me. Definitely throwaway, because if you look at it, look at everything they did even leading up to Apocalypse War. Like, that's like what? 10, 15 movies leading up to Apocalypse War?
I'd say at least 10.
Yeah. There's God.
There's War, Throne of Atlantis, Batman and Robin. You have the Justice League Dark movie. You have. Once there's a Wonder Woman standalone movie in there too.
Yeah.
Flashpoint was part of that also, if I remember correctly.
All right. So here's the order. Flashpoint, War, Son of Batman, that's where Damian comes in.
Yes.
Throne for Atlantis, Batman versus Robin, Bad Blood, that's where we get introduced to the Black Kid who joins the Bat family. He has like
You mean Batwing?
Yeah, Batwing.
Jesus Christ, he's Luke Fox.
Was he Luke Fox?
Yeah, was? Let's Lucius Fox kid.
Oh yeah, I thought so. Then we got the Justice League versus Teen Titans. Then we get into the real nitty gritty shit for the second half. Justice League Dark, Judas Contract for Teen Titans, Hell to Pay for Suicide Squad, The Death of Superman, The Constantine, City of Demons, Reign of Superman, Hush, Wonder Woman. That's the one you were talking about. Wonder Woman Bloodlines. And then Apocalypse War. But yeah, so then after Apocalypse War, then they have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 movies after that they call the Tomorrowverse. So yeah, no, if it Christ on the Infinite Earth 1, 2, and 3. I don't know. I can't really. I feel like they're thrown away because look, they have all like this whole first list leading up to a massive ass climax for Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. That's literally from 2013 to 2020. That's a lot. That's such an amazing fucking buildup. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movies leading up to the 3 Crisis movies. Yeah. And then for an event that big to only be wrapped up in 3 movies, that bothers me. Because even the Arrowverse had to span that shit over a week, which is 5 hours. Because it had to spend it over each one of their shows. Actually, I think it was more than that, because didn't they have like 2? They had I forgot what shows it were. They had 2 shows that came on the same night. I think it was like a Monday or a Wednesday where they had 2 shows.
I can't remember, but yeah, no. So my thing with that is that once again, if we're talking animation, the boys with the shells got it.
Yeah, I can't deny it. I can't deny it. Because again, even if we were gonna throw in the group from Earth 3 and Crisis, they're still not touching.
What group from Earth 3? What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm talking about I'm still talking about Crisis. That's it. Even if we were to bring them in, they were struggling. Even after Batman died, they were struggling. That's why when this is Jensen Ackles Batman, animated Batman, which I don't know. I like Jensen Ackles, but not as Batman.
I don't.
Red Hood. Red Hood. Yeah.
No, I don't think that they've done enough with the material to give him an actual presence with the character. Like in the Infinite Crisis thing, like you see him have the whole interaction with Gordon and the shit with the Joker, and then all of a sudden these niggas all show up and save him, and then spoiler, excuse me. And then it's like, you see the members of the Bat family and how he's indifferent to all of them because apparently this Batman had nothing to do with any of his proteges, nor did he train any of them, so he doesn't really know who any of them are, nor does he want to associate with any of them. But it's like,
yeah, I don't know. So it's not that I don't like him as Batman. I just the voice. I don't know, like his voice. I can't separate Dean. I can't separate fucking Soldier Boy. I can't separate them from the voice.
You said Soldier Boy. That's funny.
I can't separate that. So that's my problem. Nothing against Jensen playing him. It's just my problem is I can't separate him from the other characters he's played. Even when he played the fucking killer in My Bloody Valentine.
Never seen it.
It's a regular old fucking slasher, not special. But yeah, I just can't, because he has such a distinct voice. And so when you hear the voice, you think of the face, but then you also think of the other characters, and it's like, he's no Kevin Conroy. Because when you hear Kevin's voice, you see his face, but then it automatically goes to Batman. Because you know him as Batman. Jensen Ackles, we know him as Dean Winchester, which they are coming back with the final season to help us out, who were ripped off with that last season of Supernatural.
Oh,
that was such a fucking ripoff.
I'm talking about Supernatural. What season were they on? Like 16?
Yeah, I think this would be 16.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. It definitely did get a little
redundant.
Yeah. I definitely did enjoy the Scooby-Doo crossover, though. If you don't watch anything from Supernatural, at least watch the Scooby-Doo crossover. Because it's actually really good. It's really fucking good. Apparently, they did a... oh, no, that was Scooby and Courage that did a crossover. I don't know. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. But, yeah, I know. I just can't separate the voice from the other characters that he's played. I would like to see more, but I also think he did really good as Red Hood. They should have just fucking kept him as Jason.
No,
he even did a whole cosplay.
Well, speaking of Red Hood, so we have the second Robin, who was Jason Todd, who was taken in by Batman after and I don't understand why he thought this was a great idea, because this kid was stealing the hubcaps off the Batmobile. Like, Batman comes to find him and the Batmobile's on fucking bricks. Like, that shit is wild to me. I want to know what kind of lug wrench that nigga was using to the point where he took the wheels off the car.
Right. But, and my problem is, Batman, why would your rims not secured? Like aside, because he was just like a normal, street kid. So he had a regular fucking wrench to take those shits off.
Right. So we're having the Red Hood, Jason Todd, the street kid out of the group, the one who was probably the most savvy, the quickest to solve his problems with aggression and quickest to go to force. And he's also been one of the few members of the Robin family, of the Bat family, period, to use a firearm.
He ain't afraid to put holes in motherfuckers. He was not afraid to put a hole in a motherfucker.
Listen, and we're having him square off against Raphael.
That's gonna be a fucking fight. That's gonna be a great fucking fight.
Like we talked about the Donatello with the Leonardo Jesus Christ, with the Leonardo Nightwing situation coming down to be a fist fight.
There you go.
This one's definitely gonna come down to a straight up fist fight.
Fucking bare knuckles brawl right there.
And while Raphael Saishi is his size are used to disarm an opponent because they are a defensive weapon for anyone who did not know. Raph has also used them offensively, and I think getting into close quarters with Raphael
is a bad idea.
It's a very bad idea.
Very bad idea. Very, very bad. Because the whole point of Raph using the size is because it's like opposite of his nature.
It's like that with all their weapons, though.
Yeah, all their weapons. So it's the opposite of his nature. So once you take them size away, he's all fucking nature at that point. He's just him. Because with the size, in order to use him properly, he has to take that step back. He has to calm down. He has to be more calculated. But once those size are gone, he don't need to be calculated. That's all taijutsu right there.
Well, you saw what happened when the foot threw his size off the roof in the original movie. That didn't make Raphael any less dangerous.
Had them niggas running for the hills. So I would have to see that play out. I still think Raph will take that. Because again, we're talking about Red Hood in the Bat family, which is Red Hood, who's more calm, he's more relaxed, and so I definitely get Raph. Let's take a quick minute. Let's hear from some of our great friends that are podcasters, and we will get it going from there.
Gonna everybody? Lloyd Jones with Midnight Comics here, and we'd like to introduce you guys to our show, The Indie Breakdown, a show where we break down your favorite indie comic book characters' power, stats, and abilities, and get them ready for an eventual indie versus matchup. All Indie Breakdown episodes go live first on Spotify and on Patreon, with them eventually showing up on YouTube. So if you guys want to check out The Indie Breakdown and learn more from your favorite indie comic book creators, now's the time to do so. We hope you guys decide to tune in, and remember, until next time, midnight is coming.
Hi, I go by Lady Mandalore, the creator of Roomful of Blurs. Do you have a whiteboard in your room? Do people get a glazed over look in their eye when you start to explain things to them? Well, come join me every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we can talk comics and get to know some new creators of color, only on YouTube and Twitch.
What's going on, everybody? It's me, Calvin, from the Icarus Podcast, and I just want to say that we got new episodes coming next Saturday and every Saturday after that. So all I will have to say from here is keep enjoying the show. You can check us out, www.icarusmetrocomics.com. Check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and more. See y'all next time.
And we're back. So before we took this quick break, we were talking about the fight between Raph and Red Hood. I say Raph taking it. Just because this version of Red Hood, he's more tame. He's far more tame.
I think this is actually one of the fights that's going to work in the Robin's favor. I think Red Hood might catch him off guard.
I'm in between. I'm torn. It depends. If Raph has his size all the way through, I think Red Hood could have it. But if Raph's not using his size and he's using his bare hands, I think Raph is going to take it because he's not confined to the uses of his weapon.
Mm.
He may not have a weapon, but now
we never established something at the beginning of this. So it's like when we did the Riddick Dread breakdown, we established that they were at the base of what it was they had.
You're
from
right.
Riddick's gear to from whatever blades Riddick might be carrying, on top of whatever gear a judge initially carries.
You're right.
You want to know what the one unexpected factor in this shit might be?
Utility belt.
Yup. So if we're, because like I said, and here's another thing too, is like if we got Nightwing squaring off against Leonardo might be able to cut that shit off his waist.
Yeah.
Because can't no one access the utility belt but them. So they have the security features on them. So it's like.
And God knows what the fuck's in that utility belt at any given time.
Right?
Niggas would be spawning shit out of the utility belt.
I mean, the man had shark repellent.
Fucking shark
repellent. Fucking shark repellent.
Come on now.
So.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. So my whole thing with that is that the utility belt might be might be a real big factor in this fight. Because I didn't even think about it until just now.
Yeah.
And then, but the other thing also is that Raphael's been known to fly in the blind rages, and it's like how Michelangelo was actually nicknamed him the secret weapon because of the fact he loses his cool and that he just unleashes his wrath on anything that's in his path. So I think that if Jason can stay composed or can bait him, he might be able to outsmart Raphael. He might be able to manipulate him.
That's very true. Wow. Yeah. And then again, the utility belt, God knows what's in there. The things that we know that are in there are smoke bombs, explosives,
tasers,
fucking gas, fucking like tear gas and shit.
We've seen batons, we've seen brass knuckles, we've seen the grappling hooks.
Like, I'm just saying, these things also got a be super fucking like. I need whatever type of belt that those shits is on. That's a lot of shit to be having on your waist.
Yeah. I mean, certain certain characters have gone as far as like I know the Red Hood had incorporated some gadgets even into his actual coat that he wore.
Yeah, and
over his hair
and shit. Too.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Them niggas is different. They different. But you know what? That's a good point. You know what? Yeah. With that being said, I think I might. I think you might have swayed me. You might have swayed me over to Red Hood side.
Yeah. So I mean, but like I said, but if that fight stays close quarters, like if Jason gets too close to him, Raphael is definitely fucking him up.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And again, we're going this based off of these characters know nothing of each other. They know nothing of each other. They don't know each other's arsenal. They don't know each other's temperaments. They know nothing of each other. They just walking down the street, bump shoulders, have a nigga moment.
Did it have to be a nigga moment?
Yeah.
Did it have to be a nigga moment?
Of course. I'm telling you, this is exactly how this fucking fight starts, right? They walking down the street, right? The turtle's over here walking, and then the Robbins is walking, and then Raph's on this end, Red Hood's on this end. They walking, they bump shoulders. Raph hitting with the good old New York. Hey, I'm walking here. Jason turning around. Yo, who the fuck you talking to? And now they scrapping. Now you got Dick Grayson in the back and Leo in the back. Guys, come on. It ain't even got to be like that. Come on now. It ain't got to be like that. You got Michelangelo like, all right, Raph jumping, I'm jumping. Let's go. Same thing with Damien. Damien's like, oh, nigga, we fighting? Let's go. Right? And then you got Jenica. I don't really know her temperament. I don't know her temperament. Don't really know Stephanie's temperament. Nigga.
Sparkle time.
Bro, tell this nigga Zordon we in the middle of a show.
Oh, my bad.
We are adults now. We can't do this no more.
Hey, man, these things happen. What do you want from me?
We are not teenagers with attitudes. We are grown men with IBS. Damn, bro. I mean, we are niggas with attitude, but that's a different story. But nah, I definitely see how that's how this whole shit broke out because of Raph and Jason bumping each other's shoulders and then them talking shit to each other. All right, I see Donnie and Tim in the background, just like, you know what? I'm with them. I'm with Leo. I'm with Grayson.
Whoa! Don't disrespect my son Donnie like that. Don't disrespect Donnie like that.
No. Don't wrong. Donnie got the hands, but like, if he don't need to put the paws on you, he ain't gonna put the paws on you. He got logic. You know what I'm saying? Raph is a hothead, not very logical. Mikey, he's always been portrayed as the follower.
Yeah, he's the scatterbrain up the squad. We can say that.
Yeah. And I've always seen that like Mikey's relationship with Raph is like, I don't know. I feel like Mikey,
their relationship has always been very big brother, very, very little brother.
Yeah.
And it's like
a lot closer.
So like the way the age demographic was always explained with me was, at least as far as I know, if I'm wrong, someone please correct me, is Leonardo was the oldest, then Raphael, then Donatello, then Michelangelo.
Yeah.
And it's like, because Michelangelo is the scatterbrain of the group, he's the youngest, Raphael's extremely protective of him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know, he's even stated that some of the thought of someone hurting his brothers makes you want to fly into a blind rage. So it's like, but we're getting ahead of ourselves with this part, because I want to get back to this, because this is going to be, I think, the breaking key factor in this fight. So we're going to get back to it in a second.
Okay.
If we're going now, if we're switching to the tech heads of the squad, if we're going Donatello versus Tim Drake versus the Red Robin, Now, this is the one where the fight where I said the utility belt might really come into play. But it's also one of those things where Donatello got gadgets of his own.
Yeah.
So
yeah. While they have utility belts, he has a fucking utility shell.
So it's like you never know who's gonna pull what out. But even then, let's just say for the sake of argument, Jesus Christ. Let's just say for the sake of the argument, we leave this one straight to the bow staffs.
Okay.
All right. Let's just say
I forgot Red Robin.
Yeah, Tim Drake uses the bow staff.
Yep.
Let's say just for the sake of the argument that these two have like a whole Michelangelo foot soldier moment where they both acknowledge they're both using staffs. They just
yeah.
All right.
Like Michelangelo, he's like, fellow chucker, right?
Yeah. All right. So you feel you better than the staff? Let's find out.
Yeah.
And then say they leave it at that. I mean, I think that Tim might catch him off guard because once again, his staff is more technically sound because it has advancements to it.
Yeah. From
tasers on the ends and like stuff that pops out or it can separate stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he might catch Donatello off guard like that. But if we're going skill and precision,
I don't know. I might lean a little more towards Donnie because Donnie, he calculates everything.
Yes.
Everything.
And Donatello, hands down, is my favorite Ninja Turtle, for anyone who doesn't know. I have a very hard time betting against him, but this to me is going to be one of the closer fights.
Yeah.
Because the key difference in this is going to be who's the most creative in this fight. Because the whole point of Donatello having his bow staff is because he's the technically sound one, so he has the simplest of the weapons. And it's like how it is also the slowest and the heaviest of the weapons. So when it connects, it connects. Mm-hmm. So if we're going with that logic versus Tim, who's also got a similar precedent for him using his weapon and being the way he is, I think it's going to be one of those things like who's the most creative with the weapon.
I agree. So now with that, I don't know. I still might lean towards. I still might lean towards Donnie on that. Because if you think about it, like Splinter gave them each their weapons for their specific reasons. Like I said, Donnie's more technical, so he gave him the most basic of the weapons. So he's literally running around with a fucking big stick. So he has to be creative. He has to be creative with it. So it literally on a regular basis, he has to be creative with it. Red Robin and Tim, like you said, his shit is all geared and gadget the fuck out. You know what I mean? And I feel like, Tim, he'd be more used to things kind of being straightforward. You know what I mean? Hey, I have this gadget. All my gadgets and everything I have are made to do a specific job and are set for specific situations. Because here's the thing about the bats. They are, the way Batman trains them is to, all right, not be prepared for any situation, but kind of make the situation. You know what I mean? Instead of you fighting on your opponent's terms, you find a way to turn that battle and put it on your own terms, right? So I feel like the only way I can see it is if Tim was to break Donnie's staff, because Tim's staff is a metal alloy, while Donnie's is wood.
This is true.
So with their training to, let me, make this situation, turn this situation into, and make it on my terms. I'm going to fight you on my terms. If you look at when Batman fights Bane, he don't allow Bane to stay in that fucking form. He's like, yeah, no, this is going to be on my terms. I need to get rid of his venom.
Mm.
It's gonna bring him back down to size, and we're gonna be at the same playing field.
Oh, but see that's a good analogy, but it's also one of those things where the venom was always the trump card.
Yeah.
So it's like, if anything, the venom just made him more dangerous. And actually, here's another thing too. In more recent comics in the last 15, 20 years, Bane isn't even on Venom anymore.
Yeah, which I find really interesting, and I feel like it's definitely doing a lot of justice to the character.
Well, it's one of those things like where it gets revealed that he was highly addicted to it. So it's like, to the point where if he didn't take it, I think it's every 12 hours he'd go through withdrawal, like a heroin addict.
Mm-hmm.
So it got to the point where the saying is, what doesn't kill you can make you stronger, but what can make you stronger can often kill you. And it's like people forget the second half of that saying.
Yeah.
So he actually went through a therapy and self rehabilitation, and actually wound up kicking the venom habit completely. So where he didn't need it anymore. He just carried his equipment with him out of habit.
Mm.
So it's like he could take it in a pinch, but it's like he'd rather lose an arm.
Yeah. Okay.
So as far as that goes, from that aspect, like, yeah, he can put that fight on his terms, but this is also one of those things like where it's another Raphael situation. Just because they took Donatello's bow staff away from him doesn't make him any less dangerous.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because again, they've also trained with each other. Their entire lives, they train with each other. So yes, they are highly proficient with their weapons, but they can use each other's as well.
And they're also good with their hands and their feet too. So,
So you break Donnie's staff in half. Now you just gave him 2 weapons.
Yeah.
And he will use some shits just like Leo uses his. So I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm still leaning towards Donnie. I'm still leaning towards Donnie, and especially be the fucking show. The show.
That too.
The show.
So, I mean, like I said, they have very creative ways of fighting also on top of that. So it's like, he might go to use the taser. If he, spins around, he hits his shell, he takes his staff, deflects to get it out of his hand some way. Once again, that fight might come down to a fist fight. Mm-hmm. And if it comes down to a fist fight, we've seen Tim Drake handle himself. But once again, and here's another thing we didn't establish. Where are they fighting at?
I think I pretty much established that they fighting in the street.
So, okay, so if we're fighting in the middle of a street, and let's just say, for sake of argument, it's New York and not Gotham, just because Gotham is a shit show. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So
you can't have a regular a brawl in the street in Gotham and extra niggas not jump in that had nothing to do with the problem.
Right. So in the off chance, and here's another thing, because it's a bow staff, I mean, Donatello might find something else to use of a similar nature that's closer offhand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shit, that's no different from him grabbing a mop or a broom. Not saying it'd be one in the middle of the street, but you get what I'm saying with this. So it's like,
actually, it's New York. It's New York. It's New York. There's fucking everything in the street, nigga. I went to Coney Island and found a fucking sign in the water. I found a fucking sign in the water, and I'm not talking about it's just a sign. No, I'm talking about it looked like somebody took the pole that a staff is on, that the sign is on, not staff, that this fucking sign is on. And it's like, the stop sign shit. So it's not like an actual pole. It's like the fucking the reinforced metal that's like this, and then it comes out kind of square. We got the rivets in it and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I found one of that literally looked like it got bitten off by a fucking shark in the water. Shark. Like if I was fighting somebody, I could run them through with that shit.
Well,
yeah. So it's New York. It's New York. Anything. New York, anything.
All right. So I mean, shit. If that's the case, once again, now here's going to be the one that's going to probably be the most controversial, because everyone talks about Damian Wayne. You know, he is the son of Talia al Ghul and Bruce Wayne.
Illegitimately.
He is no, we're not gonna start that conversation. We're not gonna start that conversation because
I'm just saying, for the first time in his life, he was a victim.
We're not. Listen,
second time in his life, he was a victim.
We're not going over the grape situation. We're not doing that. So the point that I'm trying to make is that
Duck walked up to a lemonade stand.
He's raised as a member of the League of Assassins. He's told that he's going to inherit the throne title of the demon. Trained from birth by Ra's al Ghul.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Damien is proficient in killing, has no qualms with killing, knows multiple ways how to do it, and 9 times out of 10 is seen using a sword.
Yep.
Right? Now, I believe Michelangelo is taking him.
You know, in that situation, you know, because we talked about it, because I was surprised before we saw. I was like, look, what, Michael versus Damien? What? Okay. But now I've been sitting here thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, I think Mikey's taking it too. I definitely think, because even after X amount of times within the Bat family, Damien, he's not, his bloodlust has definitely like weaned off. Like, he's not quick to cut a motherfucker as quick, but he's still like, I would say he's the way Jason was as a Robin. In a way, if you
Vegas of sense.
Yeah, if you were to piss him off in just the right way, you don't really have to try too hard. He's flying off the handle.
I'd say in the Vegas of sense, yes. But my thing with Michelangelo is that Michelangelo has constantly been said by Splinter that he has the most promise out of the four of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that Michelangelo, people wouldn't focus. So it's like, you've seen in the comics, in graphic novels, and other continuity, that whenever Michelangelo gets his actual back put against the wall, he does rise to the occasion.
Yeah. And
it's one of those things like where he's had to realize or adapt to certain situations. Like, there's this episode in the cartoon where he winds up going against these two cats named Touch and Go.
Yep.
And how one was a speedster, the other one was super strong. And Michelangelo deduced that they actually had to physically touch each other for their powers to work. So once he separated them, he realized he could take them both out. Or the fact that he, like, once again, the turtles are also trained ninjas. They don't need to see people to take them out.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, the Robins are also, but still. So it's like you've seen them use that more to their advantage than you ever do.
Yeah. So here's my thing as well to go for Mikey, is that normally when, in a team setting,
Mm-hmm.
right, the character that's the goofball and this and that, blah, 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 the rest of the team looks down on that person. You see it a lot. They, act differently around them, towards them, blah, blah, blah. But in this situation, that's how you know that he may be a goofball. He may be, scatterbrained and stuff like that, but he knows his shit, because they're not one of them ever question his skill.
Well, that, and the other thing also is that he didn't need to be the responsible one. Leonardo was. He didn't need to be the thinker. Donatello was.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't need to be the muscle. Raphael was. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if anything, because they were so adamant about playing their positions, he could relax.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things like where if it's a life or death situation, Michelangelo goes full on with the shits.
Yeah. And
then here's another thing too, is that in the 2003 series,
mm-hmm.
there's something that it's basically like a mixed martial arts tournament that goes on across the multiverse, and only the best martial artists in the universe are allowed to participate in it. Splinter would leave and go participate in this. I forget what it's called. I want to say it's called the Battle Nexus, and how he had won before Splinter had, and how he kept trying to re-win, and how you would see all these different characters across the multiverse. But this is when the Turtles actually meet Usagi and Jimbo, because Leonardo winds up having a sword fight with him.
Yeah.
So Michelangelo, the year they fought, there's a year when they follow Splinter and they wind up going there. Yeah. And when the Grand Master sees them, he's like, "Oh, these your disciples?" And he's like, and the Splinter's like, "Yes, they weren't supposed to be here." He's like, "Well, they're here now." So he's like, it would be an honor to have them participate in the tournament and see where they're at. Who the fuck wins the tournament but Michelangelo?
Yeah.
And Michelangelo actually eliminates his own brothers. And the way he does it is because he outsmarts them. Because he knows all their faults and how they think. Like, all he had to do was piss Raphael off.
Yeah. So, like, and that also goes to what I'm saying. Like, you see within their dynamic, as much as they shit on him for being scatterbrained, as much as they shit on him for being goofball, they never truly ever disrespect him. They always had the utmost respect. So that said something. Like, hey, listen, he may be crazy, wild, and whatever, but that motherfucker's a beast. Don't piss him off. And clearly, we can see that he is. Spoiler alert: if you don't know, you need to get your shit together and you need to know. But spoiler alert for The Last Ronin. If you don't know The Last Ronin is Michelangelo. So for him, and with his death, he ends up bringing in a whole nother generation of turtles.
And he was running around with all four of their weapons.
Yeah.
So that was the big thing, because that's why it was so hard to figure it out, because he was also wearing a black mask. You didn't know who he was. And then come to find out, it was revealed that The Last Ronin was Michelangelo. So if Michelangelo's always had that level of promise and that level of skill, he just never refined it.
And again, like you said, he didn't have to be responsible. He had Leo. He didn't have to be smart. He had Donnie. He didn't have to be the muscle. He had Raph. But you take those three away, now he has to be all those three.
And here's the other thing, too, is that Michelangelo did have that level of skill, because you see it in little things he did. For example, once again, like we said before, like how when Donatello and Tim Drake fought, they kept it with their staffs, like the duel he had with the foot soldier. Like, he's out there showing off the foot soldiers think he's holding his own, and Michelangelo's spinning the shit on his finger, like, keep practicing. Right? So that right there shows a certain level of skill that he had. So it's like, yeah, you're not even thinking remotely the type of shit you could be doing with this weapon, because to keep practicing. So it's like, for him to do shit like that, or the fact that, like, you've seen him use multiple nunchucks, usually two, while sliding down a fucking a sword on his goddamn skateboard. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's multi-talented. And depending on what continuity you're looking at, he's either on a regular board or he's on a fucking hoverboard.
Yeah.
Either way, that's skill right there. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to, and also, all right, yeah. So, Damien, yeah, he has all this training as well. He has all this training, but he ain't got the experience. I would say the experience level between Mikey and Damien, because Mikey is far older than Damien. He's quite older than him. Damien is like what? What was that like?
I'd say Damien was like 12, 13.
Yeah.
But even then, Michelangelo was only like 16, 17. So
yeah, and they had literally been training like Damien from babies, but I feel like they, it's just a time difference between the two, between them. They was out there taking on full on fucking, underground, mafias and shit like that. Fucking fighting super shredders and shit. You know what I mean? At a young age. They
had dealing with the pterodon, not the pterodon, excuse me, the Triceraton invasion, shit with the Crane. Let's not forget all the other mutants that got mutated, from fucking Superfly to Tolkien Razor and Bebop and Rocksteady. So it's like,
yeah, they've dealt with shit that at this point in Damon's life, Damian ain't holding a candle to the level of experience that they've had. Like skill wise, maybe. I definitely say like skill wise, but not experience. Because you can have all the skill you want, but if you don't have the experience using those skills, kind of falls flat.
And see, that's another thing too, because here's another thing. Damien's also a more serious character by nature than Michelangelo is.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, if Michelangelo will start shit talking him and baits him,
mm-hmm.
he's
going off the handle, like I said.
So so he's already shown that he's the baddest man across the multiverse.
Yeah.
One.
Yep.
He's also shown that he's the surviving turtle in a literally in a world run by the foot.
Pretty much post-apocalyptic.
Right? So it's like Damien can be heir to the mantle of the demon, but I think the party dude's whooping his ass.
I agree. I definitely agree. But we also see that happen all the time. The not so serious character always a lot of the time ends up beating the serious character. Just because that serious character takes shit too seriously and they're not open-minded. And they tend to always underestimate the one that is joking around and having a good time. And that's all I'm saying. That the other turtles never seen them underestimate Mikey. They know his skill, they know what he's good at, and they've always shown him that respect for it. They just get in his ass because he's the baby, and he's being foolish.
Yeah. Well, like they said, would you rather have Mikey be bored or would you have Mikey entertained? And here's another thing too. Like if you go once again, if we're going back to the animated continuity of the DCAU. Yeah. So when Nightwing first meets Damian, he fucking hog ties him, strings him up. Granted, he's covered in a dozen wounds. He has to call Bruce Wayne, like, yo, I understand. I just found something that belongs to you.
What the fuck, dude?
Like, your kid apparently just tried to kill me. So, like, what's the story with that? So, if Damian got subdued by Nightwing, and once again, we also saw that get flipped around because he baited him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm the actual blood son. I'm the one who's heir to his fortune. You're just the orphan he took pity on. And he got distracted and knocked him on his ass. So it's like, once again, there's a lot of baiting that could take place. And, the turtles are good shit talkers. I'm just saying.
Like, no, I feel like so far the turtles got it with the exception of Ralph and Red Hood. I'm personally still undecided. I'm still undecided on that one. Yeah,
like I said, I think that's the one. I think that's the one time that like Jason might. That might be the one thing that might be because Jason might beat him. And the only reason why I say Jason might beat him is because Jason might use his anger against him because Raphael flies into fucking blind rages.
Yeah.
And it's like once he's uncorked, it's so hard for him to get that cork put back in. But it's also one of those things where it gives him a target. So it's like.
No, absolutely. I agree.
But even then, so far, we're what? We're 3-1?
Yeah. So
either way, they basically have already won the fight. So do you want to touch on Jenica and Stephanie or no?
Hey, yo, whoa.
Excuse me. Do you want to address the Jenica Stephanie fight?
I'm interested because I don't know much about either of them. Because the around the time that Stephanie came in, I had already kind of like fallen out of Batman and stuff like that. Wasn't really keeping up with it. So I don't really know too much about Stephanie. Now, if you would have said Barbara,
oh well,
yeah. If we were to swap Stephanie with Barbara, then I'd be like, all right, we're in there. But we were talking about Robins. She's not a Robin.
Yeah. So as far as I know, Barbara Gordon has never technically hold the title of Robin.
No, she came in as Batgirl.
Girl, yeah. So I mean, Stephanie Brown was in continuity the fourth Robin before the New 52, and it was supposed to be that she took the mantle and she held it very briefly before she took on the title of the Spoiler. And it's like how Stephanie Brown is actually the daughter of the Clue Master, who was one of the Batman's villains. And now I don't know. So the Clue Master to me was always kind of goofy.
That was the point. I think it was the point of it.
But I always took him as like if the Riddler was like a game show host. Like
Yeah.
I never got the whole thing. So it's like he basically would leave clues. And once again, I still don't see how that's any different from riddles, but it's like, that you had to solve to either save someone or get yourself out of peril or to fix the situation at hand. Like you have to defuse this bomb by knowing the answer to this random question. It was just fucking it was weird.
I feel like if that's the case, then I can be a Batman villain.
And what would you call yourself?
The Hinter.
The Hinter?
Yep.
You're going to give hints to problems that need to be solved?
Yep.
Fucking idiot.
You got the Riddler, Clue Master, and now Hinter. Yep.
As a matter of fact, I think Jim Carrey even said it himself, like when in the fucking Batman Forever movie when he's trying to figure out, he's like the gamester, the puzzler, and it's like he's trying on all these different identities, trying to figure out which one was going to work best. So,
yep. No, absolutely. Yeah, I feel like I make a good Batman villain. Yep.
Question mark, man.
Who are you? What's your name? Huh? No, what's your name? Huh?
I mean, there's a nigga called Hush. I'm just.
Wait, your name is Huh? Yeah, I'm Huh.
Why not, right?
Yeah. Or this is my brother. And this is my sister. Aha. And together we are the Hinters. The Hintersons. I'm sorry.
Fucking Muppet.
But yeah, so with Stephanie, how would you compare her to Jenica? And second question, a follow-up with that. Why did you pick Jenica and not Venus?
Oh, so okay. I picked Jenica over Venus. I would pick Jenica over Venus because to me, Jenica is a more in-depth character, and Jenica to me is the cooler character. So between the live-action depiction of Venus de Milo and what they've done now in the comics, in the IDWF. Excuse me, IDF. I can't remember the letters. Forgive me. I'm dropping the ball at this moment. Don't hate me. But what they're currently
wait, what are you trying to refer to?
The brand that's actually publishing the Ninja Turtle comics at the moment.
Oh shit, I don't even know.
I forget the letters.
I don't even know.
Forgive me. So the point that I'm trying to make is that from what we've seen from Venus de Milo is that she had phenomenal potential. I just think the character was done incorrectly. It's like, even if you go back to the live action from the 90s, like Venus had phenomenal potential, but it's like, I think between her personality and then the way she fought, it was one of those things like where it was never shown or done well. For example, if you go back and watch the Next Mutation, she fucking drops in on them, cuts the lights, and the four of them wake up tied, hanging upside down from their feet from the ceiling. And Venus took them out.
All right. So for those of you who are confused, the Next Mutation takes place after the third movie, the third live action movie where they went back in time and they end up changing things. And when they come back, they got assisted. So, am I correct?
Yes, because she explains that they're like, it's a girl mutant turtle, this, that, and the third. There's like, this is impossible. Like, where'd you come from? And then Leonardo recalls there was a fifth turtle in the jar with us. And it gets explained that when the jar shattered and broke, that she got washed away down a separate drain and wound up in Chinatown. And then, even though she was mutated, when she grew up, her owner raised her and trained her as an adopted daughter. So she wasn't necessarily trained in the art of ninjutsu, but she was trained. So it's like, if anything, like if they had showed like her being like a more like Wing Chun fighter or like her being more adapting to mystic arts, like they didn't really do that well. So it's like, if that's all you really have to compare with the character, that's not really great to me.
Very true. So she just pops up. They didn't flesh out her character like that.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
And it's like, if anything, especially with her being able to tap into like the mystic arts and use almost borderline use magic, she could have been doing shit like Raiden. I mean, or fucking Shang Tsung. Like, you know what I mean?
That's true. That's very true. Your shell is mine. I don't know. So you decided to pick. You went with Jenica more because her character is more fleshed out. There's more backstory to her. Off rip from the character's introduction.
Yes. So it was. So there is a storyline that where Splinter actually winds up becoming in charge of the Foot, and how Jenica is actually one of the premier students, and how she actually has a lot of resentment towards him because he's taking the Foot in a different direction. And it's like how she winds up being portrayed by Karai and gets like run through. And in the process of this happening, Leonardo has to give her a blood transfusion, and the blood transfusion saves her life but mutates her into a turtle.
Oh. Okay. So she a fake ass turtle. She's not a real turtle. Oh shit. I didn't know that. Well, fuck. Huh. So the question is, does she count?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
So it was one of those things like where that was a big thing with the story, because they were like, does this person become part of the team? Do they not become part of the team? Because initially she was indifferent to the whole situation. She didn't want any part of it. And then it's like Splinter wound up having to be saved. So she started to look at him as an adoptive father, just like the other four do. So she was like, all right, if I'm gonna look like a turtle, I might as well dress like the part. And then she took a yellow mask because she was a blonde before she was mutated. So she put the mask on, and she also still wears some of her gear that she did before when she was a member of the Foot Clan. And instead of carrying one weapon like the rest of the turtles do, she carries multiple weapons. She uses a bow and arrow. She uses a short sword. I'm not even going to try to attempt the name.
Yeah.
And then she also wears, and this is one of the things I thought that was really interesting, because, like I said, she was a member of the Foot first when it was being run by the Shredder. So she actually wears the gauntlets that he wears with the blades on them on her hands.
Oh shit! Okay. Yeah, she counts. Yeah, she definitely counts. Yeah, absolutely. So, from everything you're telling me, is Jenica's taking the fight against, whether you put her against Barbara
or
Stephanie. And like, and we say that without really even having to really dive into it, just because of our knowledge of the characters. Barbara, she was more inquisitive. Yeah, she was good as a Batgirl, but like, and her detective skills were she had some solid ass detective skills. She was very good detective, like Dick was. Her gymnastics and acrobatic skills were also on point, because she was a gymnast. So I feel like
expert hacker.
Oh, expert hacker. So
computers.
Yep.
Very tech savvy, but it was also one of those things like where, and this is mentioned in I want to say it's the Last Laugh series, which I actually have, where the Joker venomizes the better half of the villains of the DC universe.
Yeah. Yep.
And how there's a scene like where she's sitting on Nightwing's lap and they're watching the sun come up, and she says, out of everybody that Bruce Wayne takes in, she's the only one that did not have an axe to grind, because Nightwing had his parents be murdered. Jason Todd's father was murdered by Two-Face,
and then he was murdered by Joker.
And then Stephanie Brown was the daughter of the Clue Master, like Damien being raised by Talia and Rake. So it's like everybody had axes to grind but her, and she was like how she did this shit because it was cool, it was fun. She was like, this was the ultimate adrenaline rush, and it got her put in a wheelchair. And it was
expeditiously.
And the wild part is that the Joker, when he shot her, didn't know she was Batgirl. He just did that to her. He just did that to her, Gordon.
So he two birds with one stone. or bullet. So, yeah. So you know what? No, we'll take Barbara out of that. We won't even put her against Barbara because it's not fair having a woman that's got mutated to a turtle but had already been trained for years as a fucking ninja in the Foot Clan going against somebody in a wheelchair. That's not fair. We can't do that. We can't do that. But Barbara got no. I've seen Barbara pull a shotty out though in that wheelchair. Yeah. So. Yeah. No. So I'm not gonna kick against Barbara because once she gets put in wheelchair, she becomes Oracle, which pretty much she runs everything for the bats at that point. She's their God's eye, their eye in the sky. And eventually ends up being the one that has to take care of Batman and Catwoman's daughter.
Helen and Kyle, yes.
Yep. Damn, man. That movie, that show was so good for its time.
About Birds of Prey?
Yeah. It was too good for its time. That's why it didn't do good. Do you even remember the show?
Of course I remember. You're talking to me, remember?
Yeah, but like I just feel like it gave me Dark Angel vibes. Like my interest in the show was my same interest for watching Dark Angel. Wasn't the story. He responds, nigga. But no, I feel like with that show, the show had a lot of promise and had a lot of potential. It's just I felt like people weren't ready for that. The world wasn't ready for that and that level of skill. They didn't like the fact that she also kind of sort of had powers. I feel like it was just. So I feel like they gave her like Halle Berry style, like Catwoman abilities instead of just being a highly skilled cat burglar.
Well, my thing with that is here's my take on that. So I think if they did the show now, it would work.
Yes.
But it would need to be done along the same ways the Arrow was. Like Oracle was the one in the chair who coordinated what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
You could have Helena Kyle, who was the Huntress, who was a metahuman, who had I almost took it. Yeah, she's a metahuman. That's exactly what she was.
Wait, no. I just thought about something.
What?
Oh, those cheeky bastards. How the fuck did I miss this?
Spit it out, nigga.
Arrow, they ripped that shit hard from Batman.
Well, Felicity being Oracle? Yeah. Well, Felicity
all the way down to the wheelchair.
Excuse me, Felicity being Overwatch. Yes.
Overwatch. Yes. All the way down to the wheelchair.
He makes a joke when he gives her that nickname where he goes Overwatch and she goes, yeah. He's like, yeah. She's like, Overwatch. She's like, yeah, I thought you needed a code name. He's like, I was going to call you Oracle, but apparently he's taking.
Oh, yeah.
So he made a whole joke about that.
Yeah.
Like Felicity Smoke was very, very, very close to being that universe as Barbara Gordon, but it did. But then again, in hindsight, that matters because, like Oliver said, he believed that Batman didn't exist. Like nigga, he literally said that Bruce Wayne
couldn't be Batman.
There's
Batman. No way.
There's no way. He's like. Then he goes as far as saying that Batman is a hoax. He is propaganda created by the Gotham City Police Department to scare villains. He's like, I'm the original vigilante. I'm like, what?
Until he runs into Batwoman.
Yeah.
And he's like, I thought he's real. I thought it was. He's like, no. Even she was like, he's like, what? No, Batman's a myth. She's like, no, he's not a myth. And I'm just like, dude. Damn. Let me just say this. Honorable mention for the record. I really enjoyed Felicity's character.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like she was a very, very well done character. And I think it was later on. I think it was just probably issues with this, like the actress getting like scheduling issues and shit like that because she ended up being less in the show than anything, especially around the time where Oliver and her were supposed to be getting married and shit like that. So she ended up being like kind of less in the show and shit. But no, I really fucking enjoyed her character. She was incredibly smart, witty, but also not just witty, but snarky as well. She had no problem throwing your shit right back at you. You gave her shit, she's throwing it right back at you.
Yeah. So no, but I think Birds of Prey, if they did it now, would work because one, I think they could do an all-female cast and not be an issue.
Yeah.
I think that they could do it and have it be productive. And it's like, but my only thing is like the issues that they would have is one, the continuity in which it fits in.
Mm-hmm.
Two, who are they dealing with?
Mm-hmm.
Because Batman works because Batman has the best villains. So it's like the reason why Batman Woman didn't work is because Batwoman doesn't have a rogues gallery.
Yep.
Like the whole thing with Alice was cute, but it's like
it was just a rehash of Joker.
Don't get me started on that. I get the whole thing with that they were trying to make an original character, and I don't even hate that character. Honestly, I don't.
Yeah.
But it's like I think like once again, it's not to the point where it's a credible, serious threat. Like it falls to where it's working for what they're doing, but for as far as what
in the long run,
it's goofy.
She's not gonna last. The character wouldn't last.
So it's like
I feel like if they did some real tweaks, and actually escalated the character, because what they started doing as the show was going on, they started actually showing a regression in the character.
Well, that was a common issue with them is that they couldn't let the villain be the villain.
Yeah.
So it's like even Malcolm Merlin had moments where you were like, okay, Malcolm's not completely evil. Look at Deathstroke. He was another one.
Yeah.
But you had characters like fucking Prometheus.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was completely with this shit's earth on. Like, you know what I mean? You needed cats like that to be like that. So it's like, you know what I mean? There are some people who are just the villain for the sake of being the villain.
And especially that character, because of her background being shit, what was her name?
Who?
That one. What was her name?
What do you mean, the characters?
Kate. No, yeah.
Kate.
Yeah. Being Kate's sister, like, I felt like that was a perfect route that they could have taken, because the whole point is Kate trying to bring her back.
Her twin sister at that.
Mm-hmm. So it was like, Kate was trying to reel her back in, bring her back to her sanity, while Alice was pulling away.
Right.
It would have been perfect to get to a point where you think that she's coming back, and maybe she actually does get back, but then something happens and it sets her off all the way to to a whole nother level where she was before, and it's just a snowball. She just can progressively get worse, more and more psychotic, more homicidal, more murderous. Her hijinks get scarier, more serious, more dangerous.
Right. Go as far as changing her physical appearance, changing to the one where she doesn't walk the same or talk the same, or she's almost a completely different person. To the point where she's no longer even remotely close to what Beth was, and now she's completely this other alter ego known as Alice. So that, once again, it could have worked, but it didn't. So it's also the big issue.
Ruby.
Yeah, so you keep saying he blames Ruby. For anyone who doesn't know, Power blames Ruby. So the other thing with the Birds of Prey thing, I thought that just didn't work. And once again, we've gotten completely off subject here.
Yeah.
So, was the other chick who was supposed to be part of that group? She was supposed to be the Canary's daughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like that to me was had no.
Yeah. I mean, they can agenda push with the show if they wanted to now.
No, please, no. God, no. Don't do that.
They will.
No.
They will.
No.
You're telling me this day and age, they're going to have an all-female cast and not have at least 2-3 of them kiss? Again, nothing wrong with it, but For me, it's like I wanted to make sense with the story. If it makes sense with the story, I don't give a damn. But I would like it to make sense with the story. That's all I care about. All I care about is the story. As long as it's doing the story justice, I don't care.
But since we've gotten so far off subject, I know this is the way it usually goes when we're wrapping the show up. But
he's not wrong.
So we've lined it up to the point where we have got it faced off 5-on-5. We've got Leonardo fighting Nightwing. We have got the Red Hood fighting Raphael. We have got Donatello fighting Tim Drake. We have Damian Wayne, Robin fighting Michelangelo. And then we have Jenica taking on Stephanie Brown, who is later known as the Spoiler. Now, we have already lined them up 5-by-5, and we have acknowledged that this is going to be close to. The Turtles, in my opinion, are wiping the floor with them.
Yeah, 1v1.
They are wiping the floor with them. Now, who do you think if it's 5-on-5? If it's everyone working in unison?
That one's going to be tough because we've seen how. Ooh, actually, no. I think it would. I think the Turtles are going to have this one. So I say this because we've seen that the Turtles, when they work together, they are fucking damn near unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But now with the Bat family,
they do a lot of bickering amongst themselves.
A lot of bickering amongst themselves. Like, for instance, I know you don't want to talk about Crisis, but in the third movie, there's a whole scene where we have Nightwing, we have Nightwing, we have I think Batwing was there too. Batwing was there.
Yeah, it was,
Huntress.
It was Nightwing, Batwing, the Huntress, Damian Wayne, Dick Grayson. No, Dick Grayson wasn't Nightwing yet. So yeah,
he was.
Yeah,
he was.
Was he?
Yeah, Nightwing was there.
Okay, and then
Batman Beyond. Terry.
Yeah, Terry
McGinnis. Ooh, we should have used Terry. We should have used Terry in one of these. I feel like Terry's what, man.
So I got one for y'all, and this is one of the ones that we've talked about. So how about we have Terry McGinnis face off against Miguel O'Hara?
Ooh.
There's a 1v1 for y'all.
Oh, I want to do that. We can do that after next week. By the way, next week we will be talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. You're seeing it this week, right?
Sam.
Okay, yeah. So we're all peeping Deadpool and Wolverine this week, Thursday. We checking it out. So next episode it's going to be a spoiler. It's going to be a spoiler cast. It's going to be a spoiler cast. So if you ain't see the movie, don't watch the show. And we're telling you this now. So you can't get mad at us. All right. But yeah. So no, show after that. Yeah. Show after next. Definitely Terry versus Miguel. That'll be Batman versus Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be great. So in Crisis, we see at one point, again, we already established that the Batman that is currently with them right now is the Jensen Ackles Batman, and he's not from that world. He's not their Batman. Their Batman has died.
Well, all their Batmans have died.
Oh,
because
no, they're all that whole team are from that universe.
No, they're definitely not. From what I gathered from watching that, I took it that every last one of them was from a different universe.
No. Nope.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Yep.
Because so you're telling me that Helena Wayne and Damian are from the same universe?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
That's not what I took from that.
Yep. Yeah, because so that Batman is supposed to be that main continuity Batman. He's supposed to be Batman from Earth 1.
I thought he said Earth 3.
No. He's on Earth 3. Because when he found out that their Batman died, he chose to go to Earth 3 and be their Batman.
I can't remember.
Right? Like I said, the shit it's so fucking confusing.
I'm gonna rewatch it all over again because I don't know. I don't really care for the Infinite Crisis. I don't think it was done well. That's just
like
my opinion.
I feel like CW did Infinite Crisis way better. They did it way better, and I can't. You can say a lot of things about the CW's Arrowverse. You can say a lot, both good and bad. But Crisis, their Crisis is not in that bad category.
Oh no.
It was fucking wow. But yeah, so it gets to a point where he starts, Jensen Ackles Batman starts pretty much talking down on him. He's like, first off, I didn't ask y'all to come. I had it handled. I was handling it myself. They're like, no, the fuck you weren't. You were about to get your ass beat.
Yeah.
And we popped up and saved you. Just admit it. We saved you. He's like, no, first off, you're not mine. I didn't train you. He's like, you're not my daughter. First, he's like, you're not my daughter. He's like, I didn't train any of you. You're Batman. He's like, and I'm not your Batman. You're Batman. And he starts talking mad shit about their Batman. Talking about how he was irresponsible. He wasn't smart. He put them in danger. And they're like, he brought all you guys into this crusade. How many died? And
Damian was like, yeah, they knew the risk.
Yeah, they knew the risk. He's like, oh, I don't take risks. And Huntress ends up saying something back to him, some wild shit back to him. And then Damian's like, yo, don't talk to dad like that. He's like, he's not your dad. And now, like, again, they start bickering back and forth. And now they're scrapping. And now literally all the Robins start fighting each other. And the only thing that stopped it was Batman getting yoked up and pretty much almost gets taken out by these shadow demons. But so that's why I say the Turtles are going to take them, are definitely going to take out the Bat family because they bicker too much.
Now let's not get it twisted because Leonardo and Raphael have had their moments too.
Yeah.
But if it meant that they had to, there is no way they are fighting like that and something's about to happen to Splinter. It's not even remotely gonna.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And especially if it comes to a situation where they see it's like serious, like there's like oh shit, these aren't just run of the mill motherfuckers. They're not gonna be fighting, bickering on no bullshit. They're gonna be fighting. So I personally feel like the Turtles are gonna take it. And again, the setting is they're walking down the street and now they're scrapping in the streets because Raphael and Red Hood got into it. Started.
No, arguing. Say it.
They had a nigga moment. All right.
So I'll say it with you
because she fucking. It took me a sec. So, no, but I don't want to say it. No, clearly you want to say it if you're going so hard. If you clearly want to say, go ahead and say it. Just say it. But no, I'll say it with you. No,
what? Why not?
You can say anything. Look, I'll say it. Nigga. See, it just rolls off the tongue. That shit was fucking hilarious. But no, yeah. So and then now they start scrapping. Mikey and Damian start squaring up because they're falling behind Big Bro or whatever. And now Donnie and Tim are like, well, shit, they're fighting. Hey, you got a bow staff? You got a bow staff? Oh, all right, bet. Now they scrapping.
Oh, yeah, we about to catch a friendly fade.
Yeah, I feel like their fight will be more along the lines of a friendly fade. It will be definitely on a friendly fade type shit. Red Hood and Raph, they're fighting to draw blood.
But I hate the way that you walk. I hate you talk. I hate the way.
No, yeah. So I feel like that's that they're fighting for blood. They're fighting for blood. Damian and Michael, they're just fighting because their big brothers is fighting. So they scrapping too. Like, hey, you gonna talk shit? Ain't gonna try to jump my brother, beat your ass, type shit, right? And then now we got Leo and Nightwing. Now, no, we'll go Jenica and Stephanie. We already established that Jenica's with the shits. She's with the smoke. Stephanie, I don't know. Would you say she one of those characters that with the smoke?
Stephanie can handle herself, but she does not stand a chance. Period.
Because I'm trying to think about the reason for the fight. Oh, I think the reason for them fighting would be like one of them says something to the guys like, "Yo, stop fucking around with this idiot or whatever. They just don't need to. You don't waste your time on this idiot." It's like, what the fuck you just say? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no, I can definitely see Stephanie's like, "Yo, come on, guys, leave these ugly ass mutants alone," or some shit like that. And Jenna's like, "Bitch, what? Ugly where? Who?" And now they run in fades. Now Leo and Nightwing, they're just sitting back like, guys, come on, stop waiting. And now they start scrapping because one of them, again, same thing with Jenica and Stephanie. One of them says something off about the other team, and I was like, "Yo, really? You want to talk shit like that? Hey, listen, your guy started. They can't keep their fucking anger in check. Well, your guy can't keep his fucking anger. Hey, don't talk about my brother like that." And now they scrapping. But what I can see is where the turn of this battle will end up happening. They're off in their own little sides, fighting their one-on-ones. They end up rolling back together, and now they're all squared up together, and now they're scrapping 5v5. Turtles tag teaming like they normally do. Same thing with the Bat Family tag teaming like they normally do. Problem is, I see it would be Nightwing. No, not Nightwing. Actually, no. Red Hood stepping on Nightwing's feet, either like figuratively or literally. And so, in response, now there's bickering. Now Damien's like, "Yo, idiot, stop fighting. Don't fight each other. We're fighting them." Who the fuck in Red Hood? Who the fuck you calling the idiot half pint? Who the fuck you calling a half pint? Like period head, some shit like that.
Right.
Yeah. And that's where I start to see the breakdown within their rapport. Turtles, on the other hand, only two people that's really gonna have a problem with the breakdown would be Raph and Leo. But again, we already established when shit hits the fan, they come together. So I'm gonna have to go with damn, it's not even 4th of July anymore.
I know, right? It's disgusting outside.
Yeah.
Well,
so
Arbor Jam.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that. But yeah, so I see the Turtles winning. I see the Turtles taking it. How do you see the Turtles taking?
Oh, if we're going 5-on-5 in a close quarters fight, not even close quarters. Let's go essential weapons. So let's give Nightwing his batons. Let's give Tim his staff. Let's even give Jason his firearms.
Mm-hmm.
Damien his sword. I still say they are whooping their asses because they have already shown that they can fight phenomenally outnumbered. They've already shown that they can use the environments to their advantage. They've already shown that when the shit hits the fan, they don't bicker amongst themselves. Mm-hmm. They just full force. The worst case scenario, they'll put their shells into each other and just fight forward.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they get separated, they'll fight forward and meet in the middle.
Yep. But even then, like you said, they've already shown that it can literally be 1v20 or 20v1.
Right.
But and fucking, because anytime we've seen the Turtles fight, they're never the ones outnumbering unless they're fighting like the big bad or whatever.
Yeah.
They're never the ones that is like where the odds are in their favor.
Now, before anyone brings up this fuckery or starts talking about this shit, that Batman has beat all 4 of them. Listen, man, if you're going off the animated series, it did not remotely happen like that. If we're going off the animated series, the animated movie, it happened, but not to that extent. If we're going off what happened in the comic, listen, I refuse to believe he is beating all 4 of them. I refuse to believe it.
Yeah, nope. Because again, they've already shown that together, they can beat Shredder.
Yeah. So they can beat Shredder, if not hold Shredder to a standstill. Matter of fact, the 5 of them now can do that.
Yep.
So, but yeah, Shredder can put hands on Batman, stop his heart.
So I personally feel like that kind of settles it. But let's hear from our podcast friends real quick, and then we'll come back with our final remarks.
Going on, everybody? Lloyd Jones with Midnight Comics here, and we'd like to introduce you guys to our show, The Indie Breakdown, a show where we break down your favorite indie comic book characters' power, stats, and abilities, and get them ready for an eventual indie versus matchup. All Indie Breakdown episodes go live first on Spotify and on Patreon, with them eventually showing up on YouTube. So if you guys want to check out The Indie Breakdown and learn more from your favorite indie comic book creators, now's the time to do so. We hope you guys decide to tune in, and remember, until next time, midnight is coming.
Hi, I go by Lady Mandalore, the creator of Roomful of Blurs. Do you have a whiteboard in your room? Do people get a glazed over look in their eye when you start to explain things to them? Well, come join me every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we can talk comics and get to know some new creators of color, only on YouTube and Twitch.
What's going on, everybody? It's me, Calvin, from the Icarus Podcast, and I just want to say that we got new episodes coming next Saturday and every Saturday after that. So all I will have to say from here is keep enjoying the show. You can check us out, www.icarusmetrocomics.com. Check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and more. See y'all next time.
And we're back. This has been a pretty fun episode.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I don't know. I'll be honest. I was a little iffy about it. I wasn't sure. I'm like, will we be able to pull that off? Break down 5 fights, and then break down a full fight. We did kind of quick. It wasn't exactly like the way we did Riddick versus Dredd, because clearly we had more time. We could sit down and break down a fight just between 2 people, like damn near blow for blow.
But my thing with that is also, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, like, it's no contest as far as I'm concerned. It's really not.
Yeah, this was actually quite easy one. Again, no hate, no shade to the Bat family necessarily. Besides,
fuck prep time.
But like, it's just not. They're not winning against the Turtles. The Turtles, overall the consensus is the feats that the Turtles individually have accomplished. Right, not to mention Raphael. If you look at the TMNT movie that came out, which I didn't think was bad, I kind of liked that. I thought it was fun.
Are you talking about the computer?
The computer render one.
Yes.
Yeah, that wasn't that bad. But again, look at Raph. Raph literally was going out on his own on some Batman vigilante shit. There was a Night Watchman.
Night Watcher.
Yeah, the Night Watcher, and he was out there handling shit on his own. Michelangelo becoming the last Ronin. Fucking, and then Leo. And then even then Michael becoming the fucking the baddest motherfucker in the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on now.
Donatello cheating death. Like, there's some moments, man.
That part. So for me, I gotta give it to them. And then on top of that, Leo, be honest with you, I didn't like the 3rd movie.
What, Turtles in Time?
Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of it.
We actually covered this whole thing in our Teenage Mutant Turtle episode, which is actually one of my favorite episodes. We went over it. So if you haven't looked at that, check that out, please.
It's an early episode. It's going to be way down on the list. Way down on the list. So, but check it out. Like, everything is up on YouTube. This is going to go up on YouTube. Actually, this is streaming to YouTube now. So if you're not there, get there. But yeah, everything's up on YouTube. Every episode is in the Super Breakdown podcast playlist. Every episode from our first episodes and like to like where like we don't even have a camera. It was pre-recorded. Audio was horrible, just not put together well. We didn't even have logos, no background. We had no merch. What we have now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Check it out. www.thesuperbreakdown.com. Click that merch link. We got everything up there. We don't have these up there yet. These are personal. But if you like them, if you really like them, we can put them up. Power Maximus, Lord Triage, we can throw Decils up there, and we can throw Darth Legacy up there too. If you're interested, we'll put them up there. But, you know, we just dropped, I don't know if you saw, but we officially dropped Imjadaka's Army.
Yeah.
Yep. Imjadaka's Army is up there, ready to go. You can get that. Damn, who was destroying Angel Grove today?
I don't know, man.
Who the fuck?
There's been some shit that's going on, apparently.
Apparently. And Zordon needs the two niggas to go handle it.
I mean, he said teenagers with attitude.
Did you see that skit? Where it's supposed to be like the first time like Alpha's bringing the Rangers to the fucking command center, and fucking they all teleport in. And it's NWA.
Yeah.
It's all NWA.
He's like, I need some real teenagers with attitude. And he's like, wow.
He's like, not yeah. Yeah, no, you need teenagers, not niggas with attitude, huh? Yeah. But nah, yeah, because we all know Zach was better than Jason. We all know Zach was better than Jason. Just, hands down. I'm just saying. So I heard a wild ass rumor, real quick, off topic. I heard Walter Jones is in a polyamorous relationship with three women.
Mr. Jones, if that is true, I fucking salute you, my brother.
Jesus, Mr. Jones. Should I say what I'm thinking right now?
When has that stopped you any other time?
Because I would like to have him on the show at some point.
Yo, that would make my fucking day.
Mr. Jones, it's podcast time. And apparently, he actually also he's doing signed helmets for the Omega Rangers.
That's dope.
Yeah.
How would you sign his helmet though? So his helmet black?
He uses a gold marker because the Omega Ranger is black and gold.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's it. Him and Austin St. John. They've been doing this whole. They actually have a little show podcast together too.
Okay, well that would make sense because technically, along with Tweet Chang's character, if I said that incorrectly, I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was the whole thing why they went away to the World Peace Conferences.
Mm-hmm.
Is that they in the comics they retconned and explained that they became Omega Rangers. Yeah.
Yep. So, but no, yeah, no, apparently, yeah. I mean, that's what I heard. It's a rumor. Hey, Walter, if it's a rumor, it's a rumor. If it's not, my nigga. My nigga. Yeah, I'm just saying. But I just want to know how's that working though? It's with the whole, you know what I mean, right?
No, stop it.
I that's all I don't want to say now, but I'm just saying, under the camera, you know what I'm saying?
He's a fucking idiot.
But nah, yeah, I feel like over and above. So yeah, back on subject. No, I feel like Turtles are hands down. There's everything about them. They are just the better team when it comes to fighting in a team. Individually, yeah, a lot of these fights could get close, but even individually, each turtle has shown above all else that they have outstanding prowess in their own right. While a lot of pretty much all the Bat family, the Robins, and those who have come from being Robins, they have too much baggage.
Way too much.
Yeah, they just have way too much baggage, and that distracts them from the task at hand. A lot of them have ego issues because a part of that training was the fact that I got trained by Batman,
or I'm his child,
or I'm his his blood son, or I'm the one that pretty much he entrusted Gotham to. They all have some level of ego to them that always ends up going against each other. And it makes sense because they were pretty much raised by a man who has a massive ego himself.
He is the ego, man. There is no massive ego. His ego is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm the Batman. Nigga, I can put a cowl on, learn some martial arts, and be Batman too. And as long
no, you're not. You get shot.
That is why he leaves the bottom of his face out. Am I wrong? No, I'm not. I'm not. That's the only reason why. Why do you think Terry McGinnis doesn't have the bottom of his face out? I'm just saying, Terry McGinnis is not a full white man. So I'm just saying. And you see the shit that he gets on a regular basis. Oh, but Batman can run around and they really not be on his ass like that. And so I used to do music, right? I used to do music back in the day. And I wrote a rhyme. And one of the rhymes said, if Batman was a black man, then hang him from his cowl. And with that being said, that has been the super breakdown for y'all this week. Tune in next week for the spoiler cast of Deadpool and Wolverine. It's going to be a fucking great movie. And I hope it's a soft reboot. I pray it's a soft reboot because Marvel needs help. They got to write themselves out of quite a few corners. They have quite a few corners to write themselves out of.
Oh, wow. If y'all hadn't did what y'all did to Jonathan Majors, y'all wouldn't be having these fucking problems.
That man was on. Did you see that video? That man was on that stage confessing his love for that woman. That man was just straight tears, ugly crying on stage in front of hundreds of people, confessing his love for a woman. Oh, but he a woman beater. I saw the video.
So you could be King the Conqueror running for your life. No, can't see your rabbit ass in 2 weekends.
It was 2 weekends. I'm just saying. I saw the video. Y'all saw the video. He pushed the bitch and ran. And Disney, y'all on some bullshit. Sorry, I personally, do you care about getting sponsored by the mouse?
The mouse?
I don't give a fuck about getting sponsored by the mouse.
Well, we can't get sponsored by it. Listen, with the shit we say, there is no way we're getting sponsored by the mouse. Us getting sponsored by the mouse would be like them giving the Punisher and Deadpool free reign to kill the entire Disney roster.
kind of see them giving Ryan Reynolds that key. I see them giving Ryan Reynolds that key to the city.
Now he can kill the Foxverse, yes, but they're not going to let him kill the fucking Disney descendants and fucking.
No, not Brandy. No.
But yeah. I've seen what he's talking about. I can't.
Yeah.
No, they're not going to let him do that.
No, not Brandy. No, not my. No, not my. No. But no, they need a soft reboot. But whoa, wicked man, with the shit that they've made in the past.
But we're not talking about the racist shit that happened years ago that no one acknowledges now that it's been erased. All right.
Erase my ass. I can pull it up right now. I actually pulled the Donald Duck Nazi shit up the other day.
Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, this has been a super breakdown. He's Power Maximus. I'm Lord Triage. If you want any other merch, you know where to get it online. You tune in next week. Not next week. Yes, next week.
Yeah, next week.
To see our episode of Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond versus Miguel.
Week after.
Excuse me. Week after. The week after. I apologize. Next week is going to be our breakdown of Deadpool Wolverine.
It's been a good show. It's been a fun show. And as always, remember, fuck prep time.
Fuck prep time.
I'm doing out so I don't get in too much trouble this way.
Fuck that. Fuck prep time.
Yeah. Fuck. I don't have a third one. Why would you? But I just can't one. I gotta one up it.
Why would he have it?
I'm just saying. I got what? Well, I can't one up. Jesus. What world are we in when a man can't one up on a fuck you?
The one the comedian warned us about. That's the one. That's the world we're living in.
Well, in the words of Tipsy Bartender, there you have it. Catch y'all next week.